Hi class, today we are on lesson 105 of book 3. The title of this lesson is Diagrams for Sorting. Today we're going to find out how we can use circles to sort different things. So we're going to start with a circle for even numbers and a circle for odd numbers. Are there any numbers that exist that would be both an even number and an odd number? No. A number is either even or odd. We don't have any numbers that are both. So therefore, my circles don't touch whatsoever. We have no overlapping space. So for this example, we are going to talk about, first of all, the number 15. Would we put that in the even number circle or in the odd number circle? 15 ends with a 5, which is odd. So we'll put that over here with the odd numbers. Our next number is 26. Would that be even or odd? It ends with a 6. 6 is even, so we'll put 26 over here. Our next number is 7. Is 7 even or odd? 7 is odd, so it goes in our odd number circle. Our next number is 14. Look at the ones place. Is 4 even or odd? 4 is even, so 14 goes in our even circle. Our next number is 30. 0, we talked about this a couple lessons ago. Is 0 even or odd? With 0, you don't really have any partners, but you don't have an odd man out either. And if we look at the number 10, 10 is even. It ends with a 0. So is 30. If we made 30 circles and partnered them all together, we would have 15 pairs. So 30 is even. 30 will go over here in our even circle. Our final number that we're going to sort is 21. Is 1 even or odd? 1 is odd, so we'll put it in our odd number circle. So here in this circle, we've sorted all of our even numbers compared to all of our odd numbers over here. For our next activity, we are going to sort even numbers and multiples of 5. So for this set of circles, we are actually going to have a Venn diagram. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bigger than that. Nice big circle so everything can fit. A Venn diagram is when I have two circles overlapping like this. So this right here is called a Venn diagram. So this side is going to be even numbers. And this side is going to be multiples of 5. So we may come across a number that is both even and a multiple of 5. And in that case, it'll go in this section in the middle here where they overlap. So let's take a look at our first number, 15. Is 15 an even number? Ends with 5. It's not even, it's odd. Is 15 a multiple of 5? Yes, it is. So 15 is going to go over here because it is a multiple of 5, so it belongs in this circle. But it is not an even number, so it doesn't belong in this circle. All right, our next example is 18. Is 18 an even number? Yes, it is. Is 18 a multiple of 5? Well, we know that multiples of 5 always end in 0 or 5. So 18 doesn't fit this category. We're going to stick 18 over here. Our next number is 20. Is 20 an even number? Yes, it ends with a 0. Is 20 a multiple of 5? Yes, it ends with the 0. So this number is going to go in the center because it fits the rules for both circles. Our next number is 24. It ends with a 4. Is it even? Yes. It does not end in a 0 or 5. So is it a multiple of 5? No. So 24 will go over here. And 25. Is it even? No. Does it end in a 0 or 5? Yes. So it is a multiple of 5, but it is not an even number, so it belongs over here. Okay. For our next example, we're also going to use a Venn diagram, so I'll leave my circles up here and we'll just take the data out. But for this one, we're not going to talk about numbers, we're going to talk about shapes. So for this Venn diagram, we are going to label this side as shapes that have parallel sides. And this circle is going to be shapes that have right angles. So we need to review what is a parallel side. So if you're in my class, we use our arms and we hold them up like this. Parallel sides are two lines that never touch. They're the same distance away from each other at all times. They're not like this, because these lines are eventually going to cross, and this is closer than my elbows are. This is not parallel, straight up and down, or we can go sideways like this and have parallel lines like that. One way I remember what parallel means is I look at the double L's in my word parallel. Notice how those two L's are parallel to each other. That helps me to remember. The opposite of parallel is perpendicular. And perpendicular is where you have two lines that make a nice square corner. If you look down here where my fist is touching my elbow, I've got a square corner. Sometimes I have students go like this to show perpendicular, excuse me. These square corners, the corners that make up the shape of a square, are called right angles, and they measure 90 degrees. So on this side, we're going to put shapes that have parallel sides, and on this side, we're going to put shapes that have right angles, a 90-degree angle. So our first shape, let's do it over here. Our first shape is going to be this triangle. Where should this triangle go? Does it have any parallel sides? No, it does not. Does it have any right angles? Right here in this corner, see, I can make a square out of that corner. That is a right angle. So this shape is going to go on this side of the Venn diagram because it fits in the right angle circle, but it does not fit in the parallel side circle. Our next shape, this is called a parallelogram. So maybe that should give you a hint as to what we have going on here. Does this parallelogram have parallel sides? Yes, it does. It has two sets. This right here is one set of parallel sides, and then over here is a second set of parallel sides. So our parallelogram will need to go in my parallel side circle. Does this shape have any right angles? Remember, we'd have to be able to make that square in the corner. Is this a square? No. 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 We don't have any right angles in our parallelogram. So we're going to have to put that just on this side. I feel like I messed that up a little. More like that. Just on that side of the board, not in the centerpiece. Okay? Our final shape that we're going to classify is a square. Does this square have parallel sides? Once again, it has two sets. We've got this set and then my brown set here. So, parallel sides, yes, absolutely. Does the shape have right angles? Well, let's check it out. Do I make a perfect square there? Yes, I do. And here, and here, and here. So I have 4 right angles and parallel sides. So my square is going to go right into the middle of my Venn diagram. Okay, that is the end of the lesson. I do have 2 lesson practice problems that I'm going to give you. If you would like to pause the video and try them on your own, then you can hit play and we'll go over the answer together. So, problem A says draw 2 circles that do not overlap. So we're talking like our even and our odd circles that we had at the beginning of the lesson. 1 circle here, 1 circle here. Label 1 circle quadrilaterals. So this is not going to be a Venn diagram because these 2 circles are not going to overlap. So I've got 1 circle and this one's going to be labeled quadrilaterals. And then my second circle will be labeled as triangles. Okay? And you are going to have to determine where the following shapes belong. In what circle? Okay? If you want to pause it, we'll go over the answers next. Quad, if you remember from previous lessons, means 4. Like if you're riding a quad, we're talking about a vehicle that has 4 wheels. So quadrilaterals is going to be a shape that has 4 sides. My parallelogram will go over here in the quadrilateral side. And my square will go over here in the quadrilateral. Tri means 3, so we're talking about shapes that have 3 sides. So I have an equilateral triangle here, and then I have a right triangle, and they both go in the triangle section. Okay? So boys and girls, why didn't these 2 circles overlap like a Venn diagram? Why did the problem tell us to draw 2 separate circles? If you said that they don't overlap because there are no possible shapes that have both 4 sides and 3 sides, you would be correct. Problem B. This one does say draw a Venn diagram. So for this problem, we'll need to make overlapping circles. There's circle number 1 and circle number 2. Label 1 circle Q for quadrilaterals again, and label the other circle R for shapes that have a right angle. Then draw these shapes in the correct parts of the circle. So